Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and decks I'm using are going to be listed below. Other than that, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. All right, and without further ado, let's get into your choice. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Capricorn? A lot of information. A lot of information. Okay. It took a lot to get where you are. It took a lot. Now, it's not just about the work. I feel like there's been I've had to stand my ground, which Capricorn's usually pretty good at standing your own ground, you know? But it's also been letting go when I felt like it needed to be done. I do feel like there's a balance with this. Holding your ground, but also kind of like, all right, this isn't working. And you've gotten yourself to let go on certain things within reason when you felt like ultimately it was going to work in your favor. You've done well with it. There's been a lot of struggle, but you've done well with it. I feel like there's been some things that you've kept to yourself. And maybe that's why you've kind of let go on a couple things. Kind of like, I'm going to pull back on a couple things because I need to keep it more like, if they don't realize how much I want that and how important that is to me, I have a better chance of circling back around and getting it later. Maybe I can't have it right now, but if I play this well, maybe I can circle back around later and get it later. I'd rather have it later than not at all. Very careful. It feels kind of strategic, which I think is good. And there's been a lot of information coming your way. I feel like you've been holding back a lot and letting go for a reason. And you've been staying out of I feel like I don't want to be overly noticed. I don't want to be overly noticed. That's another reason I feel like I've been letting go of some things, because I don't want to be noticed. Information is it's flooding in. I feel like somebody's not realizing how tuned in you actually are. I feel like Capricorn is very good at absorbing information without people realizing it. I don't know. When you want to be more stealthy, I feel like you're good at that. When you've decided it's warranted. This energy is like you're picking up a lot of information. And I feel like you're also very, very intellectually tuned in. I was going to say intelligent, but same thing. You're very intellectually tuned in, and you're realizing a lot of this, I'm getting some information that's going to be usable now, maybe not so much later. It's kind of like the bus is pulling up to the terminal in about 10 to 15 minutes. It's not going to be there forever. Maybe it'll hang out for, if you're lucky, half an hour. But it's also kind of like, I know this information. If I want to do something with it, there's a window. Doesn't mean you have to do anything. But I do feel like you're very much dialed in the sense of like, it's going to move on. Either I do it or I don't. It's going to move on. No harm to you. No, it's like, there's nothing negative towards you on that. It's just like there's a window. It's a window. That's just what it is. You know enough about the situation to know that this window would serve you better to take advantage of it. It's completely up to you what you're doing, but it's also like, you know enough that you can make this work. You know enough that you can make this work. Capricorn does not show up just for the fun of it. Capricorn shows up for a reason. For a reason. And you got your reasons, and you know what you want. And you know this window can work for you. And it does seem like it would suit you better. Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something. Whatever this opportunity is, it doesn't come all the time. And I do feel like I have some disappointment where I've let stuff like this pass by before. I don't want to let it pass by this time. It could be romantic, it doesn't have to be, but whatever this is, it's kind of like I've let things like this pass by before, and then I kept thinking about it and kind of going, what if I had chose that? What if I had gone that way? And maybe there's some of these things where you've researched it after and gone, yep, yeah, I really wish I did do that. I knew it was going to go a certain way, but I don't know. I just didn't do it. And I feel like I don't want this one to pass me by. Take it with a grain of salt. Readings for entertainment purposes only. Take it as it applies to you. You have reference for this, though. It's not like you don't have any information. You do have a point of reference for this. The energy here is very compatible. 9 of Pentacles. It's very self-sufficient. It'll succeed with or without you, which is good, because I feel like one of the reasons I like this for your reading is like it's not going to be a draw on you if you go towards it. And you're not looking for something that's going to kind of draw on your energy. You want something you can complement that'll complement you back, whatever this is. I almost feel like I'm going at this reading way too simple, in a way too simple way. This is not like shiny new, pristine, perfect. This is not like that. This has some bumps, edges, sharp corners, but I feel like none of it is like a game changer, or none of it is like a showstopper. That's what I want to say. None of it is like a showstopper. But literally, I actually also feel like through that gives you more confidence. You can see the problems. And I feel like Capricorn is extremely realistic. Like, if it looks too perfect, it probably is. And it's probably, there's something wrong with it. If somebody's showing me all the perfect things and it looks perfect, it's not. So when Capricorn sees the problems and sees the sharp edges and sees the things that need to be fixed, even though the situation is very self-sufficient, I feel like it gives you confidence, like, okay, I can do something with that. Yep, I can do something with that. Yep, this is a little bent out of shape, but I can do something with that. Yep, I can do that. It's more realistic. It's more confidence building. Like, I see what the problems are. The problems are doable. I see why those problems are there. This is doable for me. This person or situation is not trying to sell me something. It's not trying to sell me a fantasy. It's trying to show me the truth, and it's there. The value is coming forward. You can take your time getting into this too. I do feel like once I'm on the bus, for example, I feel like I have time to plan my next step. And I'm going to learn a lot being on that bus. It's kind of like, it's almost like I'm getting on this bus and a lot of these people already know what's coming next. And I can talk with them and I can decide what I want to do next based on the information I'm getting. I have references where I can verify this, I can verify that, especially nowadays. You know what I mean? You can go online like, oh, this is going to be there. Oh, let me look that up. Let me see what that's about. Let me see how much that costs to see how long that lasts. Stuff like that. I don't feel like I have, once I'm in, like once I'm on the bus, once I'm in the boat, once I'm on the journey, once I've made that's the hardest step. Stepping into the journey. Once you're in it, I don't feel like it's a rush situation. But I got to step in it first. It's kind of like starting a relationship. Once you're in it and they're like, okay, you're in this to do this. Yep. Once you're in it and you're like committed to that level, then it's kind of like we can kind of take our time building it the way we want to build it. The first step is the big one. There's a lot of value here too. But there could be this pressure where it feels like I have to go faster. It feels like I have to be in control. It feels like I have to define everything I want. I don't feel like we have to race with it. And I feel like it's hard to look at it this way, but it's like if I'm too pushy with it or I'm too like I got to define everything, it could end up being a little bit overwhelming. But if I look at it this is interesting, but okay, see where we're going. Okay. Three of Swords, like people don't usually like this card because it talks about devastation and sadness. Some version of sadness, at least. If you go towards the sharp edges that we talked about before, the bumps, the bruises, the things that aren't right, and you center on fixing what's wrong first, that goes better. So it's like, I feel like this is like, viewpoint is going from like, all right, I got to define, this is where I want to go, this is how I want to get there, this is what I want to get out of it. That's not going to work. They're saying, find all the problems that you probably already saw all of them anyway, but even if you didn't, go to the ones you did see, work through that, and then you'll find the rest of them. Solve those problems, fix those problems, which to me would be like, I feel like this would be normal Capricorn, but for some reason it doesn't naturally go there first. I don't know why. Fix the problems first, get it up to speed, get it up to par, correct it first. Once it's corrected, that's when you can move it forward successfully. That's where you can get your ultimate payoff for what you're doing. I felt like it's weird for me to see it that way, but because I thought that would be the natural way that Capricorn would go. Let's fix what's not right first, and then go and start to make more out of it. But for some reason, this is a little bit flipped, kind of like for some reason there's pressure to make it what I want it to be before I fix what isn't quite right. It's almost like whatever's not right, I'm like, well, that's just character for this situation, so why try to fix something that's just what it is? And they're saying, no, go towards what's not right and fix that first. Which it's weird to me, because I'm like, I thought that's kind of what Capricorn did anyway, but for some reason it might not happen that way. Fix what's not working, get it up to par, and then start moving it forward. There will be points where it's like, all right, wait a minute. I fixed this. I thought this was a bumper. This is actually a trailer hitch. What is it supposed to hitch to? I thought this was a bumper. Like, what's supposed to hitch behind it? Like, what is that? What's going on here? It's almost like I have a vehicle. It's like there's a trailer hitch on it, but I'm like, wait, what? I fixed the bumper. There's a trailer hitch, but like, this car doesn't really have, like, it can only pull so much before it's going to have engine trouble. So like, what was it pulling? And then it's like, okay, I see. It was just a little thing. It was just a little cart or whatever. That's fine. It's kind of like seeing, like stepping back and going, wait, why was that there? You get a lot of energy going your way from this. Energy. I wanted to say information because it's the Ace of Swords. I get energy. I don't know what that means. Things will move forward differently. You'll learn something going that direction. And you'll change, like, okay, I was going to do this, but that's not actually applicable for this. I'm going to switch directions based on what I found. Still good, but it's like, wait a minute, I found out, okay, now that I know that this is here, it's not like I was going to go south and now I'm going to go north. It's not that much of a change. It's kind of like, I was going to go like south, but now I'm going to go southwest a little bit. That's kind of the change. It's like I'm still going south, but like I'm going in I'm changing my path a little bit. There might be some edits that come out of this through your own discovery that you feel like are better. This is your ultimate outcome. After things are corrected, after I found out the truth of the situation and I've made my edits, it's kind of like I was going to go south, now I'm going to go southwest. That's when you're going to get to the part where you're going to stay the course and you're going to make it to your goal. After you found out the problems, after you fixed the problems, and like again, you found like, oh, that was there. Okay, that doesn't ruin the situation for me. I just wasn't expecting that. And now let me just edit this based on what I found. Okay, we're good. From that edit based on what you found, that's where you stay the course and you'll hit that sun out card, that sun outcome. Sun out card. Sun outcome. It's the best card in the deck, in my opinion. In the tarot deck, I feel like the sun card is the best card, in my opinion. Even if it was a romantic reading, this to me trumps the lover's card to me. Yeah, everybody has to believe what they believe. Everybody feels the way they feel, you know. This will work out. This looks like it'll go well. It has some edits along the way, but there's a point where it's like, all right, we've done enough edits. I know enough of the situation where we shouldn't be needing any more edits. All right, now we're going to lock in. That's where we're going, and we're going to stay the course till we get there. But it's like working through the problems first, going through all the little hiccup issues first, and then going, okay, oh, found something I wasn't expecting. It's not bad, just not exactly what I expected, and let me edit the program because of that. Boom. Now we lock into the program, and we stick with the program. That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense to me for Capricorn anyway. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.